Hello, everybody. It's your boy ugotuvijames. You're welcome to Be Inspired. Today's on this edition, we're going to have a great time with one of the founder of Cafe Jollof Cafe in South Africa. But basically, Clevenard TV it's an online television that caters for people in diaspora. If you want to be part of it, just sign up. Just go to www.clipnut.com and you will get all the informations and all the content that connects us as individuals in diaspora. Yes. Okay. Be inspired. Today it's going to be another exciting time. And I have with me one of our great brother all the way from South Africa, the CEO, the founder of Jollof Cafe, Pty, South Africa, and he's here. And his name is Mr. Toyin. Mr. Toyin, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and you? Thank you.
So let's dive into it. I've eaten a couple of your I've been into your restaurant and I've eaten a couple of food called Be Inspired. No, sorry, Jollof Cafe, and your food is quite tasty. Very very tasty, and that's one thing that stand out in that food restaurant of yours. But I want to ask you this. I want to quickly find out how did you come up with the name with your restaurant, the name Jollof Cafe? When did you all start?
Wow, thank you very much. Jollof Cafe actually started last year, and I wanted to start an idea that I feel I wanted it to be truly Nigerian or truly West African. And I was thinking of different ideas, should I make it a location based like a buka kind of thing, or should I make it a food? But in all of my idea testing, one thing stood out. I wanted a truly Nigerian brand. I wanted a brand that could that would reflect who we are. I mean, when you hear the name, you don't have any doubts that this is a Nigerian brand or a West African brand, as the case may be. So I did a bit of research. I tried to look for what is the most common denominator in amongst we West Africans, and I know that food is a common denominator. And though we speak different languages, but we all agreed on the name called Jollof, because Jollof is eaten by over 500,000 people, and
Hmm.
across West Africa, you have Ghana Jollof, you have Nigerian Jollof, you have Mali Jollof, you have Senegal Jollof. There are different variations in the way we prepare the final outcome, but we all agree that we're making a Jollof rice. So I thought about that being a very strong name that everybody can relate with, that isn't going to segregate anybody within the West African or the ECOWAS region. And then I decided to go with that name, Jollof Cafe, because we
Jollof.
want a cafe to be where people enjoy all the varieties of jollof that there is.
So talking about that, is that the reason why you invested in the restaurant business?
My investment in the restaurant business, I'm a serial investor actually. So I've done a couple of things in different sector. I own a media platform called Ten Production, where we make movies and we make corporate videos and all that. I've
Yeah.
managed corporate communications at the PR level for government. So I've done quite a bit in the media and public relations space. And I quite understand very well that if you're going to change narrative, you have to embrace the media and you have to use the media to that for that particular cause. So I haven't invested in other sector. I decided to go into food because I feel like it's an integral part of our culture.
Yeah.
Nigerian culture is going so far. The music is everywhere. Is Nigerian musicians are winning Grammys already. Uh, uh, the movies, Nollywood, it's a global brand as well. When you think of a movie from Africa that is truly indigenous and authentic, you think of Nollywood, and it's called across. It's widely spread and widely embraced, and the statistics are there. So I thought that what is the last element that is missing in that tripartite relationship, and I felt food was very important because anywhere Nigerians are, according to CNN, there are over, you know, 20 million Nigerians in diaspora, if not more.
Yeah.
And anywhere they are, they want to eat their food. They want to identify with the culture. And then, if the movies is on point, the music is on point, I just felt the food is the missing link. And I decided to invest in something that I could use as a tool to propagate what we Nigerians truly stand for.
Wow. Wow. You're a very clever man, eh? That's what I can say. You're full of wisdom and clever. This is one thing that, if you look at diaspora, quite a number of people didn't take advantage of this opportunity to create quite a living or opportunity or a set up an organization that kind of actually resonate with their people. I think that's very powerful. Well done. Well done. So what
Thank
do you
you.
think is the most important role in the restaurant business?
The most important role in the restaurant, I would say that every aspect, every role in the restaurant value chain is so important. From the customer service point of view, you need to have an amazing service. I believe
Yeah.
very strongly that my service must be on point. When people walk into any of our spaces, I want them to feel like this is truly African brand, and the warmness of the waiter must really, must be, our brand must be reflected in the personality of the waiter and the front officers. So they are so important to deliver absolute service, and even the food itself. Some people would argue that we're selling a product called the food, but the food is also as important as the service. So the service, the food, the chefs are some of the key stakeholders in the entire value chain, and we don't joke
Yeah.
with our chefs because they deliver the taste that we want people to resonate with. And
Wow.
so the chefs are equally as important as the front of house. And lastly, the entire administrative department, because we currently have about 5 restaurants now, and it means that
Wow. Five.
we must have a strong admin and operations department to coordinate and to make sure that these organizations, this restaurant function accordingly. So the entire operations staffs are equally important because without the operations staff, the chefs wouldn't have anything to work with, and without the chefs, the front of house wouldn't have the customers to deliver value to. So it's. I would say that no one is more important, but every aspect of restauranting is equally important, as the case may be.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting. So what does excellent customer service means to you or means to Jollof Cafe?
Customer service is everything to me. Because I've spent almost 12 years of my life in the financial service department. The bank, I've worked with the Bank of Industry, one of the leading financial institutions in Nigeria. And having worked in the bank, you will understand that you need to make the customers, whoever is going to get loan from you, optimally comfortable, optimally secured, optimally believe in your competence, and optimally believe that they're in the right place and they are being treated with dignity and respect. Even when I worked in Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) for more than 5 years, even while you are
Wow.
going to arrest a criminal, you still need to treat the criminal with dignity and respect, because first of all, he's a human being before is whatever tag that is labeled on him. So
Mm.
bringing all that experience into the restauranting space,
To the food
customer
business.
service is everything, because we must make sure that the customers walk into our spaces and are thoroughly satisfied,
Yeah.
not just with the product, but equally with the service that is being rendered by the front of house personnel. And for me, when the customers feels that they've, 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 they've delivered, they've gotten value for money, that is the height of customer service. I want to believe that I've walked into Jollof Cafe's restaurant, and I got true value for my money, and I'm walking out of that space smiling, and I'm able to refer other people to go experience the level of service they got in Jollof Cafe. That for me, it's a 360 customer service experience that we in Jollof Cafe strive for every day of of our existence in this industry.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. This is one of the things that this is why we wanted to have people like you on Be Inspired, because this is what most of our people and people in diaspora needs to hear, because they need to understand that customer service to every business you do is very important. And you've nailed it here right now. All right. On this note, we're going to take a quick break, and we will come back. We will continue with Toyin, CEO, Jollof Cafe, right here on Be Inspired. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Clevenard in Diaspora Television is an internet online TV service. What sets us apart is a unique combination of hit African content, first and exclusive international free movies, series, musics, news, events, documentaries, tourism, teleshopping shows, youth TV programs, and live interviews. Clevenard Diaspora Television is available throughout sub-Saharan Africa and to the diaspora markets worldwide. Take your entertainment with you wherever you go. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, smart TV, depending on your device. Watch free movies with Clevenard Movies Television. Stop searching for free movies websites and watch Clevenard Movies Television. Watch your favorite African shows anywhere at any time. Don't forget to check out our top 5 TV channels created to get you informed. TV1, Clevenard in Diaspora Television. TV2, Clevenard Youth Television. TV3, Clevenard Movies Television. TV4, Clevenard Teleshopping Television. TV5, Clevenard Tourism Television. To start watching, sign up at www.clevenard.com and follow the easy steps. Once you're done, log into the Clevenard website or app on your device, click on any one of our 5 TV channels, and hit play. We will be very satisfied and happy to welcome you to our team as one of our new business partners. Contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.
Welcome back on Be Inspired, right here on Clevenard TV in Diaspora Online TV. In case you want to find out, please go on www.clevenardtv.com and log in. For those of you who are using iPhone, please do log in so that you can connect on Be Inspired show. All right, still on Be Inspired, and I've got here with me one of our great brother, CEO of Jollof Cafe South Africa Pty, and this guy has worked so hard. He has 5 restaurants right here in South Africa. So now, welcome back, Toyin, and we just want to talk about the 5 restaurants quickly before I dive into the next question. How and on what space did you start that already you have 5 restaurants in South Africa? I mean, can you tell us how possible that is?
Okay, the journey started last year, and last year I was when I wanted to start. That was in January last year. I called my partner. I said, I have this idea to revolutionize the eating space, the restaurant space, especially the Nigerian restaurant space in South Africa. Because before now, you would see that when Nigerians and non-Nigerians want to enjoy West African food, they need to go to some of those ghetto areas to go eat this food and all that. Because for some reasons, some of our former bosses in the industry, they've not seen the need to invest in proper spaces that will compete with the likes of Nando's. And I told my partner that, you know what, I want to create a space that when you see Nando's, you see Jollof Cafe as an alternative. When you see Rocco Mama, the top brands, you will see Jollof Cafe as an alternative. I want to be in the shopping malls. And they said, how are you going to start? Do you have the capital to start? I said, no, I'm not going to use capital to start. I'm going to use my skill as a currency to start this initiative. And so I got few equipment at home in 4 ways. I started making food, and I was primarily online selling my food on Instagram, on Facebook, trying to get customers. And
mm,
that was in the very peak of COVID. So 3 months I was doing that in my house, creating the right images, creating the brand Bible, creating the nice narrative for my brand and all that, and trying to just connect with my demography, the people I truly want to sell to, who are the upwardly mobile black people, young people who are working or who are busy, who have a wife, foreign wife, kids who are foreign or they are indigenous, but who are upwardly mobile and want to experience the cuisine called Nigerian food. So when I did that
yeah,
at home for 3 months, then I was online on Instagram one day and I saw an advert that states that a new brand is starting called Joseph Cloud Kitchen. It's a cloud kitchen. They have 10 spaces and they want to give it to people that are interested, budding entrepreneurs in the restaurant space. I said, wow, this speaks to me, and I immediately sent a mail, a DM to on Instagram to the account. I said I'm super interested, and I was invited for a meeting. I pitched my idea to them. They were blown away, and immediately they gave us our first space in Bryanston. And that was how we started operating. But bear in mind that I knew what I wanted to achieve, that I didn't just want to achieve a restaurant that people can work in. I wanted to achieve a restaurant that can compete with Uber, that can compete with Mr. D, that
yeah,
whose delivery service is on the same level with all these top delivery service. So immediately we entered our first space. I
mm,
partnered with a company called Lime Trail in India. We created our mobile app. So if you go to Android or iOS, you can download your Love Cafe app and you can order. So I invested in delivery services. I invested in right technology that helped our operation work so fast. So we started, and instead of relying on Uber, Mr. D, we started cultivating our own database and we started building our own direct relationship with customers. And within 3 months of running our first space, we opened our second space in Santon
wow,
because our app grew so fast, because it's cheaper there, it's faster, it's more trendy, and people just want to support local business. And 3 months after running that space, that was when we started in April. May, June, end of June, we had entered our second space in Santi. We continued our model and we kept pushing, ensuring that we're taking advantage of the social media, the Google, and all the digital infrastructure to make sure that we reach customers in a very creative ways. And
mm,
having run the second space for another 3 months, we were in a position to open our third space in Midrand. And
wow,
when we opened our third space in Midrand, we went from cloud kitchen, because our first and second was a cloud. We went into a full scale restaurant in Midrand, and that was how we started. And that changed the dynamics of things for us. We entered into our fourth space this year, which was in Rand Park Ridge, and then we
mm,
repositioned our Bryanston branch into a full scale restaurant, and then
yeah,
subsequently we just moved into our fifth space in Four Ways. So that was the journey. The journey wasn't rosy. Was required a lot of hard work, a lot of innovation, a lot of creativity, a lot of thinking outside the box, a lot of research, and benchmarking ourselves with the major players in the industry, which is very important. If you want to grow, you have to benchmark yourself with the big boys. You might not be where they are, but you also have access to the infrastructure that they are using to be the best that they are. So we decided to just leverage on the existing infrastructure, and then it helped us to grow. So in the space of 20 months, we were able to create a brand that got. Another very important thing we did was we partnered with local brands like AKA, one of the famous ambassadors here, one of the famous regions, who became our brand ambassador. So that also helped our narrative within the locals. And people got curious that if AKA can eat your food, then there must be something special about your food. So we applied multi-strategy, technology, creativity, we have brand development, efficient operation, and constantly taking risk Because sometimes we move into the next branch, not because our financial position is optimally okay, but we believe that it's a market that we need to explore. We mock what we have and we take such risks. So that has helped us, all the strategies put together, right pricing, right strategy, promotion, product, has helped us to grow accordingly.
Wow. I don't know how. I know I picked up quite a few words that you've said here, and you are an epitome of brain, hard work, and God's favor. And it's not even just that. A lot of people will say, "Oh, God has given me the ability to be this, to be that." But look at you here. You put in so much faith and hard work into what you wanted to do, and look at where it brought you at. And you are touching life through this. I mean, it's not just a restaurant. And I'm feeling it's also a life-changing opportunity for a lot of people in diaspora, and also giving the Nigerian community a brand as well. Wow, that's powerful. I think you've done very well. You've done very well. I'm feeling very inspired right now. This is why we like to have people like you on this show, so that all the young people out there don't give up. Because while they're listening to you, they will know that they have a hope to keep pushing. All right, moving forward, how do you deal with conflicts with your workers?
Sorry, coming again with that.
How do you deal with conflicts with your workers?
Um, Conflict resolution is one of the. So when I was doing my MBA in one of the leading universities in Nigeria, Pan Atlantic University, which is the Lagos Business School, um, one of the key subjects that interests me mostly was crisis management. Crisis management occurs even at home. I've been married for 8 years. I could tell you that myself and my wife, we don't have issues because I certainly understand my boundaries. She understands our boundaries. We constantly have communications in that regard. That doesn't mean that we don't have disagreement on issues. We do, but it's respect for one another that has helped us to always reach a consensus when we are resolving our crisis. And that is one thing that I've also brought into my business. There are times where you have crisis with your stakeholders. My primary stakeholders are my staff. I tell people that my staff are so as important as the customers, because without that stakeholders, without that constituency, there can be no business. You know, and even if there is business, the consumers will not be happy with the service and the product. So I take my staff extremely, I put them in high esteem. So I have maximum respect for everybody's point of view. I have maximum respect for their emotions, their feelings. I want to engage at a personal level with every. We currently have about 40 staff. I can tell you that I know every member of our staff. I have personal relationship with them. So that has become a strategy for me to maintain some sort of a balance. So if a staff is not in the right frame of mind, or a boggling issue in the mind of the staff that might affect their output at work, I have an open door policy that propels them to come have a conversation with me. So even before you come have a conversation with me, as a psychologist, once I see how you're conducting yourself, I engage you to understand what the problems are. And my conflict resolution goes beyond what your salary or your allowances are. If I see that these are personal and family issues that will require you, that would affect you emotionally, I come on board to see how I can together resolve those issues with me. And those are personal strategies that I have deployed in keeping a balancing act in my place of work. And that is very important for me. And secondly, even my stakeholders, which are another major constituency, the customers. The customers are extremely so important. There are times that we get it wrong. Maybe for some reasons we might get it wrong sometimes, but we have a specialized department that handles crisis in that regard. We try to understand, empathize, and go extra mile to resolve issues with customers. Because without those customers, we can't have business. So if a customer complains about your service because they want you to improve, and we take that privilege so highly that we move forward to see how we resolve those conflicts. And lastly, another major stakeholder in our business and our suppliers. We cannot run a five restaurant and not having fantastic relationship with our suppliers. So we ensure that we keep our suppliers' interest at at par with our own interest. We want our suppliers to be in business. We ain't going to owe our suppliers, even if there are delay in fund in honoring their invoices. We
Yeah.
maintain constant communication with our suppliers to ensure that we and the suppliers were on the same page as far as stock is concerned. So if you look at our the way we manage our staff, the way we manage our customers, and the way we manage our suppliers, which are our critical stakeholders, it has helped our business to maintain some level of balance, and we are in a growth trajectory for those simple strategy of empathy, caring for people, listening to people, and going extra mile to just resolve their personal issues as the case may be.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. So Jollof Cafe is becoming a trailblazer for others to follow.
And it is important quickly to mention that Jollof Cafe is not just a restaurant. If you go
Yeah.
to our app right now, if you go to your iOS, like Apple or Android, and download Jollof Cafe app, you will see that we render three important services. We render the food service, which is primarily the Jollof Cafe. We equally render what is called Jollof Mart, because we realize that so many people who are either married to Nigerians or Ghanaians wants to eat the food and also try it. So we offer them grocery service. Or in all our
Wow.
stores, you can pick up groceries to take home and make your food. So we have a mini mart, a spice mart, I would call it, in every of our restaurant, where our customers can also use those products to make the food and learn about the food using the YouTube channel as a guide. And equally, we also do what is called Jollof Liquor, where we provide people with organic drinks. For instance, somebody wants to eat jollof rice and wants to eat palm wine. It's a craving. You want to eat it. You want to experience home. We go extra mile to make sure that we provide such bespoke drinks, bitters, organic drinks that people truly want to enjoy. And those are the unique value that we bring to the table that has helped us to befriend our customers.
Wow. I mean, that's so interesting. I mean, even palm wine, even as far as palm wine, those are local beers. And those are made available in your mini mart as well too. I think this is very important and very interesting. Wow, this is well done. I'm gonna say well done. You've worked
Thank
so
you.
hard. And then Clevenard is here for you too to help broadcast whatever Jollof Cafe is doing in diaspora. We will be part of whatever Jollof Cafe is doing. All right, we're gonna go on a short break. When we come back, we're still going to find out the background and the family side of the CEO of Jollof Cafe. Don't go away. Sit right back. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
Hello there. Looking for an African movie? Search no further. Clevenard African Movies TV is here for you. We are dedicated to the acceleration of African films, TV series, documentaries, and lots more. Explore our movies at home or on the go. Clevenard Movies is free to watch on Clevenard.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry now. Sign up and subscribe today.
In the 21st century's technological advancement, we all seek opportunities to move and network with the emerging space. Introducing Clevenard blog and event posting. Do you think you have some interesting materials, good content, articles, and stories? Then feel free to publish them on Clevenard blog and events page, just as team of our writers are doing presently. By blogging on Clevenard's blogs and events, you benefit from our reach and network. There are constant stream of people visiting our social platform, and we have figured out just how to distribute our contents. This means you can basically skip the line and get access to a big audience from day one. Furthermore, we can help you get in touch with important people for projects with possibilities of translating your content into other languages and republishing them on Clevenard. This helps preserve and protect your content from getting lost. What's more, you also get to be part of our team with access to our network and lots of exclusives, behind-the-scenes information. And of course, you get full credit for everything you do, which brings you popularity and make extra income. Sign up now on clevenard.com and start blogging to your advantage. Please see the tutorial video on how to blog or post events on Clevenard Blogs and Events. For more information, contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com. Clevenard, your blogs, your identity.
Okay, welcome back on Be Inspired with ugotuvijames on Clevenard TV in Diaspora. All right, still with the one and only Mr. Toyin, the CEO of Jollof Cafe, South Africa, Pty. What an amazing young man! What an amazing entrepreneur! What an inspiring entrepreneur! We've been having a great chat here. For those of you who are joining, or those of you who just joined, this is one of the leading restaurants right now by a Nigerian called Jollof Cafe right here in South Africa. So, Mr. Toyin, we didn't get to chat quickly about your background, where you come from, your educational and your marital status. We just want you to put that in one shell. We don't want to start asking one by one. We just want to know, where exactly do you come from in Nigeria, and what is your background in terms of educational and also your family marital status?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Toyin Oyekanmi, and that in itself says it all. I'm a Yoruba man. I'm from the western part of Nigeria, and I'm proud to say that I'm from Ife. Ife, if you read the origin of the Yoruba race, we would claim that the black race and human race started from us. As a matter of fact, if you want to see the Ark of Noah, I will take you to a place in Ile-Ife where you see the Ark of Noah, where life started from. So I'm a Yoruba man. I'm from Ife, and to be more precise, Ifewara, which is like a village within the Ile-Ife, as it were. I was born in 1984, December 22nd, and I started my primary school in Lagos, Ojota to be precise, GRA Primary School in Ojota. And subsequently, I went to a school called Molusi College in Ijebu-Igbo. Ijebu-Igbo is a community in Ogun State, Nigeria. But I didn't spend so much time in Molusi College in Ijebu-Igbo. I proceeded to Nigerian Navy Secondary School, which is where I cut my teeth, a boarding school. And while in Nigerian Navy Secondary School, in military school, you're trained to be highly independent, you're trained to be highly disciplined, you're trained to be highly consistent with routines and all that. And this was the place where I would say that I actually forged my character as a human being. And I was fortunate enough to be in a leadership position even while in secondary school. I would become the class prefect from my beginning to the end of my SS3 then, and become the prep prefect, because I've always believed in being disciplined and being studious, because I'm both street smart and I'm also book smart. I believe that a combination of two will put you at an advantage, not at a disadvantage. That says, I went on to study at the University of Abuja. But before I proceeded to the University of Abuja, after my secondary school, I joined the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. I was fortunate to join with the EFCC when the EFCC started in 2003, and I was in the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit Department. In fact, with my secondary school, I was a clerical officer working with the committee that set up. Eventually, I then became a full staff of the commission. While I was there, I was doing what is called distance learning at the University of Abuja, economics. So I eventually, but I didn't finish up my economics degree because I wanted to be a full-time student, because working and schooling kind of put me at a disadvantage, which I never wanted to be. So I dropped out of that particular program and I re-enrolled to start a full-time program in the University of Abuja under the Media and Theatre Arts Department. And I was fortunate to be the president of the department from the beginning, the director of theatre, to end my sojourn in University of Abuja as the president of that particular department and even a faculty. And subsequently, I left to join AY. AY Comedian is one of the leading comedians in Nigeria. And he taught me administration, he taught me show business, he taught me how to package art in a product form, which we did with AY Life, AY Show, AY Movies, and is unarguably one of the leading lights in the Nigerian entertainment industry when it comes to box office records, selling out shows, and what have you. And subsequently, after AY, I wanted to also learn about how to make movies. I joined Kunle Afolayan Film Production. Kunle Afolayan is equally one of the leading filmmakers in Nigeria. I was fortunate while I was with that organization to work with Multi Choice, where we were contracted to do a program called Ishedale Yoruba. It took us around the entire length and breadth of the Western Nigeria. But while I was doing that, that was when I joined the Bank of Industry. The Bank of Industry is the leading financial development institution in Nigeria, and most of the interventions of Nigerian federal government are done by the Bank of Industry. And I was in the communications department where I was able to use my skill from AY and Kunle Afolayan to help advance or contribute to my quota to the communications department. But
Wow.
as life will have it, I find
It
myself
just
in
never
South
ends,
Africa.
eh? It just never ends. You just if we stay here, we're not going. It's
I
just
find myself in South
we're not going
Africa.
to
So
finish. Okay. Just tell us a little bit about your you're married and you got kids. Just let's say a little bit about your when did you get married and then when did you start your family? When
oh,
in the midst of all this gathering experiences, exposure,
absolutely, absolutely,
becoming this,
absolutely.
becoming that, and all that.
So interestingly, I've always made up my mind that I was going to get married when I'm 30 years. And I was fortunate enough to meet my wife before I got 30. And when I met my wife, I knew she was my wife and I was committed to it. And so I got married on the 31st of January 2015 and in Ile-Ife, to a beautiful woman called Jumoke Awofisayo, but now Jumoke Oyekanmi. And we've gone ahead to have three beautiful kids, but unfortunately we lost one
Wow.
of our kids to leukemia, which brought me majorly to South Africa because one of our child was diagnosed with leukemia and we couldn't treat him in Nigeria, so we had to move him to South Africa for treatment. But unfortunately, we lost the child. But we've gone ahead to
Wow.
have
So
two
sorry
more
to hear that.
beautiful kids, a boy and a girl, and we are happily married, and we are happy to be here and doing this business
Wow.
together.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. We're sorry to hear about your child. Well, I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, everything about you has been so inspiring from your journey to where you got, how you, I mean, you've been there, done, and that's the thing about people, what that we tell people, try everything, go there, get experience. If you see how you are, you can see that you've gathered so much momentum and exposure and experience. And it will then now propel you into the real future that you are ready to really, really go into. I know we're telling people to do this all the time because service is actually what brings you into CEO. And a lot of people wants to become CEO, but they haven't served. And I've listened to you now. You've served in this department, you served in that department, served there, served here and there. I think that's very, very inspiring. That's very inspiring. Thank you for sharing. Moving forward, we just want to quickly, how do you handle conflict with very impossible clients? Like in your restaurant, for instance, there's this client, some of these clients you get that are very difficult people. How do you like really resolve with them? How do you solve it out? How do you still maintaining the peace and love in your business? I can hear you. Go on. I can hear you. Did you hear my last?
Yes, how I handle very highly difficult
Very
customers.
impossible clients.
One
You know,
thing,
you get those ones.
yeah, yes. One thing is certain now, in business, you can be 100% perfect. And that is
Yeah.
why you have the opportunity to grow and to improve on your product, your service, and your relationship with every critical stakeholders. I take everybody as my stakeholder, like I rightly said initially. And there are impossible situations that present itself like life would present impossible situations to you. And it is now out of your own wisdom and skill set and the knowledge of who you are that will come through in handling those difficult situations. And that has been our tool in Jollof Cafe. You cannot
Yeah.
satisfy all the customers, like I rightly said. But what we do is we apply every stage of conflict resolution. Because I tell my customers, my staff, that there are 5 stages of team development. We are building team we want to be in the same team with our customers. We see our customers like our team members. So even at the early stage when we have what is called the storming stage, we doesn't deter because we know that we can move to the numbing stage to up onto the where we normalize our relationship. So one thing is critical when we are in an impossible situation. Our objective is not to turn away that customer. Our objective is to meet that customer where they really are, where they are, and to see how we can profile some solution to the best of our ability to those customers. That is not to say some customers will not go. That is the beauty of life. But we, as a brand, as a company, it is our core value to see that we exhaust all conflict resolution mechanism in order to keep and to maintain our customers and to make our customers happy. But if the customer decides that they do not want to have relationship with us as a result of what happened, yes, we let them go, but we still keep them in constant communication. One day, we always say to ourselves, they might change their mind and miss us and come back to us. And that is
And
our
talking about
motivate, it's the spirit.
and talking about that, really, how do you handle mistakes in your restaurant?
Mistakes are documented, yeah. So what I've done as a company is that I have developed my team, and I don't do everything. In fact, I tell my team there are 2 critical roles for me in the organization: business
Yeah.
development and marketing. Every other role in my organization are handled by specialized people, like professionals. So what we do is to make sure that when issues or whatever arise, we channel the right skill set to handle such
Yeah.
situation. And those specialized skills have constantly helped us to, to maintain a good relationship and to maintain growth strategy, trajectory in our business.
What do you do when a customer ordered a dish that is not on your menu? What do you do in that case?
We currently have about 300 type of dish. We pride ourselves. Let me give you a classical example because I'm a Nigerian man. I'll
Yeah.
understand very critically that Nigerians get tired easily. And because I used to tell my staff that I am the typical customer that you're selling to. I'm a Nigerian man. I
Yeah.
I I, I spend like the Nigerian man. I could be 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 and all that there is who I am when you want to sell to me. So because I understand that Nigerians get tired of particular meal or particular situation easily. That's the nature
Mm.
of a typical West Africans. We then
Yeah.
develop a strategy where we have one of the most robust meal, one of the most robust menu. As I speak to you right now, we have way over 300 dish types on our menu. So it's almost impossible for you to think of a local fusion, continental, whatever that is linked to the West African community that we don't have on our menu. And that has kept us and that has made our customers extremely loyal to us because they understand that we care about them. We don't want them to get bored. We want them to keep trying new things, having new experiences. And that's the beauty of life because variety is the spice of life.
Wow. Wow, that's so powerful, man. So, what's your greatest strength as a restaurant entrepreneur?
Our greatest strength there is our strategy and our ability to implement. When you have the right strategy, because I come from the banking sector, I want to always make reference to that. At the time,
Mm,
there are over 80 banks in Nigeria. When there was a wave of bank being reformed, they were trimmed to about 25 banks. The banks
yeah,
that stayed were the banks with the best strategy and the best operations. Right now in Nigeria, I'm not sure we have up to 20 banks. The banks that are leading are the banks that are ahead of innovation. Who keeps innovation, creativity, operational excellence,
yeah.
customer service at the core of their existence.
Mm.
So these are some of the things that we have learned and that we are currently applying in our business, and it has worked for us 100%.
So, what hours are you talking about that? What hours are you available to either talk to your customers or engage your customers? Do you do that personally, or do you have people who does that for you?
We have managers in all the branches. There are branch managers and there are kitchen managers. A kitchen
Yeah,
manager ensures that the kitchen and the menu are well put together. But there is also somebody called the branch manager who handles customers and makes sure that the customers are satisfied. So those roles have been clearly separated. Where I come in is every day I work for about 12 hours. I can tell you that I spend minimum of 2 hours in each of the branches, 5 branches that I currently have. So there are times that I know this branch is at its peak. I go to that branch. I want to make myself known, meet my customers, develop personal relationship with them, because I want them to put a face to the brand and to what they are getting. I want them to see me and be guaranteed and be able to trust our service. To know that if this is the man behind what I'm putting in my mouth, I can go to sleep because I know this is the man of excellence. So I try to communicate that to my customers by engaging with them, having relationship with my customers, and building that level of confidence, when they eat or engage with our brand. So I can tell you that 50% of our customers, or let me minimize, about between 40 to 30% of our customers have got personal relationship at one time or the other with them.
so talking about personal relationship with customers. So, do you wine and dine in your restaurant, and what makes it unique?
Wine and dine. We believe food is about, that's what food is about. We want people to come to our restaurant and wine and dine and relax with good music. When you step into our restaurant, the first thing that welcomes you is a very chilled atmosphere and a very fantastic music. The music in itself creates, set the mood for where the food is going to rest in your tummy. So we want people to wine, dine, relax, and enjoy. So it's an ethos. It's a core value of our operations, and that's why you can't step into a restaurant and walk out the same. You step in
Wow.
and walk out highly satisfied and highly entertained.
Can you tell us? Can you tell me about when you had to deal with a difficult customer, and how did you handle it?
Okay,
Like for instance, now people order food, and you probably gave them food, and then because I've experienced that once when I was there. So I wanted to know, how do you handle those kind of conflict? Because for me, I got a little bit concerned for you guys. Some customers are extremely difficult, very very difficult. How do you deal with that type
so
of
a
situation?
classical example is if a customer is not satisfied for whatever reason,
Yeah,
are always as a brand ready to give the customer a refund. So we let our customers know that if you are not comfortable with what you've just had, we are ready to pay you back full money. That in itself is a core value and a cardinal point of our operations. But before we
yeah,
even get to the point of full refund, our goal is to make sure that we go extra mile. If the food is the complaint, I will always tell my customer, once a customer complains about a certain dish, make a new dish, because for me it costs me so much to get one customer, and a dish or an order will not be that thing that will make me lose that customer, because I highly appreciate that patronage. So if the customer complains about a certain issue, please go extra mile and offer to redeem what the complaint has been, because a customer cannot just be telling you he is not satisfied. There must be something wrong, and it is our job. It is our job to make sure that what the customer is complaining about, we find resolution to it. And if and haven't tried to resolve, if the customer still insists that they want a refund, we are always ready to make sure that we refund the customer, because our job is not to take your money. Our job is to make you satisfied. And if we cannot satisfy you or deliver that value the way you want it, we'll be willing to refund back that money to you, because it's your hard-earned money.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, wonderful. What an inspirational words from you. And I mean, that's always even with everything you've said, I've learned so much about a business model for myself as well. You know, how to deal and how to engage and how to prepare and how to strategize. All right, we're going to take the last break, and when we come back, we'll begin to round up with CEO Mr. Toyin, Jollof Cafe, South Africa. Please don't go away. We're about to finish. Stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Clevenard Business Matchmaker is an innovative social platform that delivers result-driven campaigns and marketing solutions for businesses in all sectors, such as law firms, restaurants, hospitality, real estate, medical finance, manufacturers, beauty, events, retailers. In fact, we are the marketing social platform for everything. A dating site for businesses matchmaking. At Clevenard, we bring together startups and more established businesses together, where you can find people who share your interests. Members can build their profiles, send messages, friend people, interact with each other, share interests, and much more. Take a minute to fill in your profile and tell the world about yourself. At Clevenard Business Matchmaker, we know that personalized online identity and business timeline are crucial to the growth of every business. We've designed Clevenard Business Matchmaker to help businesses to own a personalized timeline in just 2 minutes. Easy search functionality. The personalized timeline is designed to feature all your business ideas with complete search functionalities, which help users navigate through all your listed services, products, or ideas for customers to contact you directly. Sign up today at www.clevenard.com. It's free. Clevenard Business Matchmaker is an innovative social platform that delivers result-driven campaigns and marketing solutions for businesses in all sectors, such as law firms, restaurants, hospitality, real estate, medical finance, manufacturers, beauty, events, retailers.
Welcome back on Be Inspired to here on the show with Mr. Toyin, the CEO of Jollof Cafe South Africa Pty. Yes, welcome back, Mr. Toyin. We're going to round off now. We just want to ask you quick questions about because we know quite a number of people have conflicts when it comes to customer relationship. You've explained that. You've told us how you deal with your own difficult times. So now on the working side, because you're working in South Africa, you're not working in Nigeria, and you're not dealing with indigenes of your countrymen. So how do you deal with clashes with your workers and yourself and your staff? Because most of them are not the same speaking type of tongue. So for instance, they're not Yoruba, they're not Nigerians. Remember, most of them, if you're working in South Africa, you mostly have to employ South Africans or Zimbabweans or people who are available. But how do you handle the clashes between that understanding between the two nations or three nations?
Currently in Jollof Cafe, we have Nigerians working with us, we have Zimbabweans working with us, we have South Africans working with us, we have Malawians working with us. One thing is very fundamental to me and is very important is, regardless of your tongue, I treat you with respect. I treat people that I work with the way I want them to treat me. I don't come from the hair or from the. I don't have superiority complex, because for me, we are all stakeholders in this company. You need to provide your service optimally, deliver your value to the best of your ability. I need to deliver my value to the best of my, for us to have a business. Without understanding, that is our common denominator. Have respect for everybody, regardless of their tongue. That is not to say that there are no class barrier. There are no times where some people feel. What we do at that moment is to ensure that our human resource department steps in to resolve those issues, those lingering issues between maybe why are you talking to me like this, or I talk the way like this, not because it's intended to offend you, but because the way the tone or the way it's being received, those dynamics are resolved by our human resource department. We have someone very highly specialized in that department who understands different culture, different ways of communicating. A classical example was, there was a day a lady was talking in the kitchen, and the way she was talking, I said, that reminds me when I was doing my MBA. They said when you look at a billboard and you see capital letter, all letters written in capital letter, it means that that person is trying to shout. The billboard, whoever designed it, is shouting for you to hear. But if you don't understand that context, you won't even know that the intention is for you, for the person who is communicating, who communicated on that billboard. His intention is for you to shout. Only those who understand that will understand what the intention is. Any other person will just let it slide. That's one. I say when somebody writes in small letter, it means that they are whispering. They are trying to communicate in a subtle, soft way. It could connote lack of confidence. It could connote just respect or whatever it is. But when somebody starts a sentence with a a capital letter and write, for me, I know you're trying to communicate to me. So I tell my staff that don't shout. You might be talking in capital letter and you expect that that person should know that you're just talking. But the person who understands tone will feel that, why are you shouting? So these are some of the examples I use for my staff, using my background to say that just communicate. You don't have to shout, you don't have to be aggressive. This person might be from South Africa. When you use certain tone, they start feeling like you're being rude. But you in Nigeria might think that you are just talking. But you are using a capital letter to talk. No, just use a normal sentence and talk so that everybody can understand. So there are issues like that. There are dynamics like that. But you use wisdom to tell the person that, oh, this person is talking in capital letter, not because they intended, but they're already used to talking in capital letter and they expect everybody to understand that they're just talking. For you who sees capital letter as being offensive, you will get angry over it. But over time, when they grow together, they work together, they begin to understand each other, and I begin to say, okay, this is how you talk, this is how I talk, these are my intentions, and these are not my intentions, and all that dynamics, I think they are part of, what you do when you build an organization. And over time, you are able to forge what is called an organizational culture that works well with your own industry.
Talking about, I remember, I know that we Nigerians, we speak in capital letter. I know we are in capital letter all the time in our country, and when we go outside the country, we have that problem with people in diaspora because they don't speak in capital letter. We speak in capital letter. Did you understand that part of it? Now you explained it, capital letter. Yeah, we are very loud. There was a time I think it's London or Spain. One street like that, and you could hear two Nigerians passing, and they were speaking loud in your Iyaloje, Iyaloje. I'm like, these people are still here too. I couldn't even believe it. Or yeah, my friend said, I'm like, these are your people. They were so loud crossing the road. And so they were in capital letter. And I think that's our nature. And that's how we are brought up in that country. All right, Mr. Toyin, it's been very, very exciting time with you. I mean, what an amazing time we've heard here on Be Inspired on this show. Now that we're about to round up, is there any special words that you want to give people who aspire to be like you, people who are going through trying to be a CEO or trying to create something in diaspora or even at home in Nigeria, but haven't found their feet yet? Is there any word of encouragement or something, a tip that they need to take away to begin to form that few full form alchemist? I'll use the word alchemist to discover who they are.
I'm going to use four P's. And this thing sounds like simple, but it's the magic word. They are the magic words. What I tell every intending or intended entrepreneur is when you, especially us in diaspora, the rate of unemployment in South Africa is high. You cannot come into South Africa and expect the indigenous to give away the jobs that they don't even have. So you have to be realistic with your expectation, especially for Nigerians and people in diaspora. You have to be realistic with your expectation. That country you're in also have their own social economic situation, and you cannot overtly put your expectations so high and then you become frustrated. So here's my talk, and here is my advice to entrepreneurs or young diasporans. When you find yourself in any country, do your due diligence and find a product. There is nothing that is not important, that is not sellable. Look for something, no matter how small it is. Find that product. Find something that is needed in a community that you find yourself. Find a niche product. Find a generic product. Find something that you can do, whether product or service that you can render and earn a living from. Don't go to a country with the mentality that if they don't give me a job, that country is bad. That is not the way to live. That is one. Find a product or find a service that is unique to you or that is generic to the community that you can do well. Another thing I always tell entrepreneurs is that when you find a product, look for the price that will keep you in the market. If another person is offering that product and you can create another variation, come to the market with a different price point. That price point might just be what will differentiate you and give you a small market share. Not that I come into a market, you know people with big market share, and you want to compete with them and you're pricing at that level. You won't win because you don't have expertise, you don't have years of experience, you don't have the database. So price that product or service in a way that will keep you to break even, at least give you a space in the market. And lastly, you have to find an address. Don't say I'm just a businessman. If you're an online business, have a website where you can be traced, where you can be verified. Being in Nigeria already puts us at a disadvantage because of the high level of fraud that has emerged from some structures of our community. So you cannot do both online and offline and not find a place, a location, an address that is verifiable, that will give your consumers confidence, knowing that you have a disadvantage. Find a place that is verifiable, both online and offline. Find an address. And lastly, when you have found a product, you have priced yourself in a way to enter the market, you have found an address, a place or two, then promote your business. When you don't promote your business, whether online and offline, marketing, social media is a new word of mouth. Take advantage of social media. Build relationships. When you have a product and you don't advertise it, you don't talk about it, it's like winking in the dark. When you wink in the dark, who sees you? Nobody sees you. You have to find platforms that can either help you amplify your message, amplify your product, or you go and open a social media account, Instagram, Facebook, and start from there. What am I trying to say is that we, Nigerians or Africans in diaspora, when you come into any country, South Africa, America, London, Australia, Russia, wherever you are, keep your expectations low. One, and be ready to contribute to the social economic fabric of that country. Look for a niche market. Don't be greedy with your price. Look for an address that is verifiable and promote your business. If you can apply this basic principle, there is no how you will not be in a position, giving yourself 5 to 10 years, to be a responsible citizen in that country. And that is the only way we as Nigerians or West Africans can begin to redeem our image, that we are not coming to plunge, but we are coming to contribute. And those are my few advice to entrepreneurs and to diasporans.
Yeah, thank you so much. Also, thank you so much. I think you've heard it all from Mr. Toyin, CEO of Jollof Cafe. Wow, that's a very powerful word you've shared with us today. I mean, it's actually like a business model, a business conference. I think we're going to bring you back again in one of these programs to just come and give us a model for how to completely develop yourself into becoming a full entrepreneur. Yes, before we sign off, we would like to ask you, how do we find Jollof Cafe, or how do we know Jollof Cafe? For people who are in diaspora, for people who are in all over the world, who are hearing about Jollof Cafe now, how do we get hold of you? How do we find you? Or how do we, when we come to South Africa, how do we get hold of you? Or you and your team and your restaurant?
Anywhere you are in the world, you can go to www.jollofcafe.co.za. You will see us there. We are verified. We have a verified account. When you do business with us, we are legitimate. You can place your order on our platform anywhere you are in South Africa, Gauteng, through www.jollofcafe.co.za/order online/menu. You will see all our menus there. You can pay using a secured payment gateway called using PayU to pay with your card, and we are a responsible organization. And we have offline address in Sandton. We're in Sandton, we're in Bryanston, we're in Midrand, we're in Rand Park, and we're in Four Ways. How do you verify where we are? Go to your Google address, just type Jollof Cafe. Google will tell you where we are, our modus operandi, our time of operation, and the type of service that we render. So please, go on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. We are all there. Jollof Cafe. Verify our addresses on Google and on our website, and you won't regret doing business with us.
Wow! Wonderful, great. I like the word "go and verify." I mean, a lot of young CEOs and young entrepreneurs have beginning to adopt this word "go and verify" because Mr. Obedient Obi has taught us to go and verify. We need to, and actually, it's actually the right thing to do, because this is how we begin to do image laundry. Go and verify. It's not just because they know a lot of Nigerians are scammers and liars, and some of them they're not what they put out themselves to be out there. They put up a face, but meanwhile, that's not who they are, and it puts us in a bad place. So sometimes,
let me speak to that. Nigerians are good people. Nigerians are smart.
I said some of them, not everybody.
Let me address that. Nigerians are smart, one of the smartest people in the world. It is only a Nigerian and a white man sees, and they have deep appreciation for, because they understand our level of intelligence. What we have in Nigeria is bad governance. When they say Nigerians are this, Nigerians and that, India used to be in a more terrible situation. Right now, India is one of the leading countries. In fact, at the time in India, everybody does IT and they think they are scammers. Nigerians just need leaders to create an enabling environment for them to be able to take advantage of their skill set and their talent. So Nigerians are good people. Nigerians don't just have good leaders. And where there is no leadership, the sheep will go astray. That is the problem we have in Nigeria. When we get the issue of leadership right, you will see the ingenuity, the talent, the creativity, the tenacity in an average Nigerian Nelson Mandela said something. He said, if Africa is going to be liberated, if Africa is going to take its destiny, her destiny into its own hand, he said Nigeria must lead the way. Because we are not just giants of Africa in resources, in GDP, we are giants of Africa in mindset. And that is the power of being a Nigerian.
Talking about Nigeria, I'm actually closing right now, but I just want to dive quickly into that. The election is coming out now. I don't want us to be political here, but the election is coming out, and there are so many agitators and people who are claiming to cleanse, to become this, to cleanse this image, to bring that. What is your take on the present governance and what is about to come? What do you have to say?
My take as a businessman, speaking from a business point of view, no country in the world lives in vacuum. As I speak to you right now, the pound sterling, one of the strongest currency, is plunging. COVID has affected the whole world. Everybody is battling with the ripple effect of COVID-19.
Yeah.
That's one. Secondly, the war that is going on between Russia and Ukraine has affected the fuel, the energy, and the food price. Before now, we used to think money is the most important thing. But right now, we all understand that food and energy are more important than even money. You must have food and energy before you think of financial security or financial freedom.
Yeah.
That said, Nigeria lives in a global community. Whatever exists in Nigeria, as far as the economy of Nigeria is concerned, we are not in isolation. That is not to say that Nigerian government should not get our macroeconomic rights, in the sense that our refinery should be working. We should be taking advantage of the hike in price, the high price of crude oil, and be using that to our own effect. We should be taking advantage of our gas, natural resources, our LNG resources. So these are the places where we need strong leadership. But in determining the type of leadership we want, Nigeria right now cannot afford to gamble. We have to look at the antecedents, the track record of every candidate that has put him or herself forward, and use the antecedents to judge them. Use the antecedents to judge them. And by that, we'll get the issue of leadership and the issue of who becomes our next president's right.
Okay, on that note, that's where we're going to stop for today. It's been an awesome time with you, Mr. Toyin, CEO, Jollof Cafe, South Africa, Pty. What an amazing time with you. Thank you for taking out your time to come and share with us so much insight, so much even business model, business. No, you're such a gifted and creative guy in terms of how to strategically survive in diaspora. And I mean, I've learned so much today, hearing you speak and hearing you talk to us. Yeah, so that's where we're going to stop for today. Yes, everybody, I'm sure you are inspired by through all this chatting and through all the words that Mr. Toyin, CEO, Jollof Cafe, has shared with us today. So yeah, I'm going to leave you one, two things that I picked up from one of the words. It says, keep on pushing, keep on strategizing, and put in the work, because that's the only way you can emerge the champion you are supposed to be. On that note, I will say this is where I will say bye-bye to everybody. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. Thank you, whoever you are. I can see some people that joined in live. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the show. And I would like to advise, if you're a musician, if you're a content creator, or you're an entrepreneur, or you want to market your product, Clevenard TV In Diaspora, it's here to link you up with every other person all over the world. This is why we're here. This is why this platform is here, Clevenard TV. Or you can visit us on www.clevernerdtv.com, and we will. Or sign up if you're using Android phone or iPhone. Just sign up, go to our website, check out what we do and how we can be able to serve you better. We are here to serve you better. Thank you, everybody. And I would like to say, God bless you. See you on Thursday. Another exciting edition. Don't go away. God bless you. See you on Thursday.